Neverending Chain by Dragon Translator. Chapter 79. Sea Cave. Astrid tapped Stormfly's neck. The ladder descended, landing next to the Changeling Queen. The young princess landed next to Stormfly with a small hop. She giggled and then looked at Astrid. Astrid smiled. "Nice landing," she said. "Thank you, friend queen," the princess said. "We are walking from here, young queen-to-be," the Changeling Queen said. Astrid slipped off Stormfly's back. While she knew her sister would carry her, Astrid also knew Stormfly and Windwalker would soon depart for the hatchery. Astrid did not want to tire the dragon out by riding when she could just as easily walk. Besides, watching where she put her feet on this barren and rock-strewn stretch of shoreline kept her mind off the fact that Stormfly and Windwalker would be leaving soon. She had not told Hiccup, had not told anyone, even Stormfly, but the month just after the matehood ceremonies had been rough. It felt like something within her clawed at Stormfly's absence. Riding upon Toothless with Hiccup had assuaged it, but had not rid the sensation completely. Riding on Ringfire's back had done nothing to lessen the sensation. Astrid had even felt resistance at the thought of riding the Whispering Death that short moment. Her worry over Hiccup and his comment about thanking the gods every day that she loved him, and his wondering that Toothless was lonely despite having Hiccup in the dragon's life, caused that resistance to temper. It even affected her sleep. Not much, but enough that she tossed and turned several nights during that month. Knowing her temper, knowing she could not bear to hurt Hiccup any more, she would sneak into the trees and throw her axe at the trees. The announcement by Gothi that Arvindil's fire would once again blaze across Berg's sky had given her an excuse for the trips into the woods. Yes, she had wanted to train and ready herself to fight the Flightmare and restore her family's honour. She just also terribly missed her sister. She had not ignored Windwalker's return that night, even though he had become a brother to her. She just had not been able to release Stormfly. The thing within her would not let her. It both intrigued and annoyed her. She had no clue what it was, and did want to learn more about it, but she hated that it affected her as it did. She fought it until she could let Stormfly go and move on to Hug's Windwalker. Now it was rising again, with the thought of Stormfly would leave, but this time Astrid did not know the exact day her sister would return. That made things worse. She suspected Stormfly knew something was up, but the dragon had not brought it up. She and Windwalker had been very accommodating their first week or so back, as Astrid had found herself having to stay in the modified shed Uncle Finton and her father built for Stormfly and Windwalker, so they did not have to share the other modified shed Firestorm slept in. Still, neither one asked why, and still did not ask why. That both annoyed and calmed Astrid. She did want someone to ask, because she knew she should tell someone. But the thought of speaking up on her own went against everything she had been taught as a Viking. Vikings, except Hiccup, did not discuss private problems and fears with other Vikings. Vikings, except Hiccup, kept their hurts in. Hiccup had the right to bare his soul. Hiccup had the right to speak about his past. Too long he had been ignored. Too long he had been shoved aside. Too long he had been made to suffer due to the stupidity of those around him, herself included. She would grimace and cringe when another in the tribe would howl or cry in pain. She never did that with Hiccup. He was special. He could show the side Vikings tried so hard to hide. He could show it to her. She would hold him. She would massage his shoulders. She would help him rise and continue on. "Oh, Mama," the Changeling Princess said, yanking Astrid from her thoughts. "We go cave?" The Queen laughed. "Yes, dear. Why don't you tell the young queen-to-be all about it? Yes, Mamma. Friend queen, pretty cave, dark at front, waterfall on the back a lot, tickles, back of cave all sparkly, like night sky. Walk careful, slippy in cave. Astrid smiled. Thank you, she said. The young princess chirped and nuzzled against Astrid. Astrid reached over and scratched the top of the youngling's head. The youngling cooed. They resumed walking when the queen coughed slightly. Soon they reached a massive cave opening carved into the side of a sheer rocky cliff. The waves of the ocean crashed against the far side of the cavern's entrance. Astrid could see from the darkened stones surrounding the cave opening that the tide was out. Astrid suspected the cave flooded when the tide came back. She hoped whatever the queen wished to teach her would be fast. Astrid did not want to be in that cave when the water started rushing in. They entered. Astrid saw what the youngling meant by slippy. The rocks along the floor were darkened by water. Stormfly, the changeling queen said. Those who spit acid were never able to hold their fire in their throats. Can you? Aye. Do you need me to light the way, Queen of the Nest? Please. Your sister will have greater chance to navigate the path. Stormfly opened her mouth, and a red-orange glow appeared in the back of her throat. Astrid hummed as the light illuminated her feet, as she could see where to put them and where not to. They reached the back of the cave, and Stormfly closed her mouth. Astrid gasped as tiny flecks of eerie blue something began to coat the darkness. See? The young princess said. Like night sky. Astrid grinned. Yes, just like it. It's beautiful. Young queen-to-be, will you remain right where you are? I must step out for a moment, but I shall return for your lesson. Sure, Astrid said. Daughter, you stay as well. Yes, Mamma. Astrid heard a rustling that receded back towards the opening. She looked back up to the blue glow. Do you know what makes that? She asked the young princess. Elder says small thing non-dragon flyer eats at times make it. Non-dragon flyer? Small thing. Sits in trees sometimes. Makes lots of noise in the morning. Have lots of coloured fuzzy scales. Astrid chuckled. I think you mean feathers because I think you're talking about a bird. Bird, the youngling repeated. Bird, bird, bird. Shut up! Astrid froze and then growled at the new voice in the cave. End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed this one. I like this one. Astrid is having her lessons with the queen. The little princess is there being cute. An illuminated cave. I'm guessing bioluminescent bugs, personally. Anyway, and I like this bit about the lore of Astrid also feeling that attachment. I think she's got something in her soul too, like Hiccup. It's just not as prevalent. And ooh, who's that person in the darkness? Well, see you next chapter, guys. Bye!